This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2007 Rockwood ROO model 19. Okay, I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. When you pick up, we'll go over the bunks or beds. They're very simple. You just undo the latches, fold them down. When you fold them back up, you have to make sure that you tuck the fabric inside the rubber seal. That's very important so the water doesn't get through. But that's the most important thing, is tucking the canvas in correctly. We'll go over that. Okay. You have a manual awning. Okay. This is a rail to hang a grill on if you want. And then, of course, this is your quick connect, so you can hook your grill to the LP system. All right. That's just power there. This is the vent for your range hood fan. So if you're running the fan venting to the outside, you just want to flip those little levers there so the baffle in there flaps freely when you're venting. Okay. Storage. This is the fill for your fresh water tank. Now, if you're generally speaking, you're going to be using the city water hookup, which is on the other side of the trailer. But on those occasions where you're camping when there's no city water, you can carry the water with you by pre-filling this tank and then using the onboard water pump to pump the water. So all the plumbing will still work as though you had city water. All right, so your spare tire, obviously. You have a deep cycle marine battery, 2 LP tanks which are full. Kill switch for your battery right there if you want to shut it off. This is the city water hookup right here that we talked about. That's the most common way to get water. Now this is your water heater. Right now it's empty and is bypassed, right? It works on gas and electric. Keep in mind there's a switch right here for the electric heating element that's behind this cover, so keep that in mind. There's also a switch for the gas inside. So remember, right now it's empty and bypassed. So when you're getting ready to camp in the summertime, you have to put the valves in the correct position and fill it up before you turn it on. Never run it without water in it. That's important, obviously. Furnace vent here. Service panel for the refrigerator. You don't really have to use that. This is just campground cable and satellite through. You've got a 30 amp cord with it. Okay. This is an outside shower. Just spray things off. Of course, your dump valves here, gray and black. Okay. And then back around. So we'll go inside and look around now. Excuse me. Okay. So this reduces your 30 amp plug down to a 20, so you can plug it in at home. That's your dump hose. You have some fans. They're called fan light combos that you can hang on the beds when they're folded down. Okay. So this is coax through from the outside. You can hook a TV to it if you wanted, for example. Okay. Keys. You have a microwave that works like any other microwave. This is your range hood I told you about. Remember, if you're venting to the outside with a fan, it has a fan and light. Now, if you're using the fan, make sure you free up that baffle on the vent so it vents to the outside correctly. You have your sound here. I don't know if you've got the gas turned on right now, but we'll see what happens here. Well, either way, you're going to turn it to the correct position, and then you're going to light it. It's that simple. You just use a grill lighter. So get a long necked grill lighter. When you're using the oven, it's a little bit different. You have a pilot light at the bottom all the way to the back, right? So you use that long necked grill lighter to light the oven. You go to the push in to light pilot, it says. So you're going to depress it, and then you're going to light it with that grill lighter. You stick it way back there and light the pilot light. Once it lights, you hold it for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature, of course. But when you shut it off, the flame goes out, obviously, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. So keep that in mind. This rolls over into a bed, right? Your table folds down onto these cleats here, and it turns into another bed. So you got two auxiliary beds, right? You have another hookup here. So this is your main TV hookup. He's got a bracket up there and everything. Okay, and you can see your all your connections back there. To turn your water heater on gas is right here. I showed you in the lower left-hand corner on the outside is where you turn on the electric heating element. This is where you light the gas. Of course, your water pump is here. I told you you could pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. Batteries charged, fresh water, black, gray. It graduates up in 1/3 increments as it goes. Okay. This is your antenna. You crank it up and down. When you're cranking it down, you just crank it till you hear it hit the roof. You don't overextend it or over retract it. You just, when you start to feel resistance when you're putting it up, you just stop, okay? You can also rotate it by pulling down this collar here, but whenever you're going to bring the antenna back down to the roof, to the stowed position, you line up these two markers right here so it sits in the proper position on the roof. Okay. Air conditioner has, obviously this is thermostat, then it has two fan speeds. The fan speeds are just the air conditioner running without the compressor, just circulates air, and then two air conditioning speeds. Okay, your thermostat for your furnace, your propane furnace is right here. Always, when you're bringing it to the left to shut it off, push it till it clicks. You'll hear a click sound. You want it to click to the left to make sure it's off. Okay, this is your refrigerator, and it's a gas absorption refrigerator, right? Meaning it'll run on 110 AC or LP gas. So right now it's on auto. Auto is the most common way to use it. Auto means it automatically seeks out electricity, and if it can't find it, it'll automatically switch over to gas. Or if, let's say, your campground has a power failure in the middle of the night, or while you're away exploring one day, it'll sense that and it'll automatically switch over to gas so you don't spoil your food, right? You can change it to just dedicate it to gas, but generally auto is the way to go, okay? The only other thing you have to remember about this is this thing's called a thermistor, this right here. That thermistor should be up all the way. You can see that little decal says the higher you go with it, the cooler it is. So basically you put it up as high as you can get it, and it's almost always going to be in that position. I mean, if it starts to frost up or something, if it's getting colder outside, you can back it down, but generally speaking, you want it up. All right, this is your awning rod here, of course. This is your LP detector here. Should always be green. This is your power converter. So what this does is converts AC to DC power. So you have regular 110 AC circuit breakers here, and they're all labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side, and you have 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. Okay. If any of those fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see them through this tinted plastic here. Okay. And importantly, when you're plugged in, this is a battery tender, so it'll always sense how much energy your battery up front needs, and it'll keep it charged up when you're plugged in. So it charges your battery also. Of course, when you're pulling your trailer down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will send power through the charge line and charge your battery when you're pulling it. And then when you're plugged in, this will charge it. So it should always be charged up, okay? Alrighty. And then the bathroom. Sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. You have a 3-speed vent here, right? This vent is also good when it's the time of year when you start to get condensation from your breath and just the heat against the cold. So if it starts condensating in here, let's say you got a bunch of people over, you just put this fan on low, and it'll pull all that right out. You won't have an issue with it. So use that fan to manage the condensation also, okay? Your toilet is just a typical RV toilet. The black tank is directly below, right? Right now we have inner antifreeze in it. This is the flush lever here. So you can't use it dry. By dry I mean with nothing in the black tank. So when you pull into the campground, you hook up your power and your water, you'll dump 1 dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you'll pull the flush lever forward and let water just flow into the black tank below along with the chemical. Hold it long enough to put at least a gallon of water in there. You can use more, but not less. You got to have at least a gallon and chemical in that black tank before you use it. Otherwise, it can get clogged up, and it also will smell super terrible if you don't have water and chemical in there. So you'll always have water and chemical in it in the black tank below before you start using it. Okay. All right. So let me look around a little bit here, see if I forgot anything. I think I pretty much covered it. Let's see, yes. Okay, all right, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember to inspect your roof on a regular basis. A couple times a summer, just go out there, look around, and make sure there's no cracking or separation. Make sure none of the roofing attachments or roofing material were damaged by low branches or road debris. That's part of general maintenance of a trailer, is to keep your roof in good shape, so make sure you do that. And also, right now this is winterized, so all the water's been purged from the system and replaced with antifreeze, and the water heater is bypassed and empty right now. So keep that in mind. You're going to have to reset the valves into the camping position and make sure there's water in your water heater tank before you turn it on. That's important, okay? Thank you very much.